Okay then. It's hot. 96.5 The Vox, Arkansas's #1 for hip hop. If you ain't never seen my face, you never heard my voice, you never smelled my cologne. Ladies and gentlemen, I go by the world famous YKeedo. And yes, indeed, I am the people's champion. Now, JG, today is different. It's not a rapper. It's not an influencer. It's not a content creator. This one, I stayed up last night. You know, normally I'm just running. I actually did some homework because I know this gentleman for a long time. And I've been watching the journey since I graduated 2008. This lets you know how old he is. He graduated 2009 from the rival school across from where I was from. But nevertheless, he's an ice cold brother. He's an alpha. He once was a policeman. He's from the Willow Bend Apartments out in Jacksonville. You dig what I'm saying? He owns a restaurant, an elegant restaurant here in Little Rock. I'm trying to think of what else. He's actually helped me with some legal situations and some other people with the Chosen Law Firm group as well. Ladies and gentlemen, he is our new prosecuting attorney, and he goes by the name of Bobby Forrest Jr. Welcome to 96.5 The Vox, Bobby. How you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling good. I mean, look, that you did some research, but also it feels good to be at home with family, so I'm glad to be here and get ready to chop it up with you.
So, Bobby, a couple weeks ago when you won, I said I ain't gonna hit him up right now. I know he ain't gonna respond. I said he might not even answer. And when you text me, I said, oh, the nigga text me back. He ain't actually Hollywood. He actually hit me back. But Bobby, before we get in too deep, I know this fella to your right. He's always with you. Tell the people who this gentleman is, because he plays a key part in your success as well.
Man, he really does. This is my guy. I call him TJ, but Tyrell Meadows. He from Georgia. And honestly, the way me and him met, he can tell the story better than me, but I was moving into experience and we was moving stuff out, and he came from downstairs and was like, hey, let me help out. And we've been kind of locked in ever since. So it's definitely a brother from another mother that God sent me.
Say that. Now, Bobby, it's so much I want to talk to. Let's go back to the beginning. Now, some people don't know about Jacksonville. You dig what I'm saying? And when I moved from Little Rock to Jacksonville, I actually went through Willow Bend a couple times, Bobby. It ain't the nicest place. How was it growing up in Willow Bend Apartments?
You know, honestly, when you grow up in a place like that, you don't know that it's not the nicest place. You know what I'm saying? So this is where you from. So I had a great time in Willow Bend. But I mean, it's a project, you know, and so you get exposed to some things that I would like not other people get exposed to.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, those are the people you're growing up with. That's family. Everybody took care of each other. But it also, as any family, you're gonna have some fighting and buckling and different things like that. So I seen a lot in those early days. But it's exactly who made me who I am.
For sure. Now, Bobby, you graduated from Jacksonville High School 2009, correct?
Correct. Red Devil.
I ain't gonna go there with her right now. So after that, where did you go?
So graduated and then immediately went to basic training, United States Army, National Guard.
Say that. Now, clearly you got big things on. Are you still active?
I am not in the military anymore.
Clearly.
Got out in 2022.
Okay, so what made you be like, you know what? I'm done.
Well, honestly, I love the military, and I'm trying to think, was it 2022? I feel like it's before then. Yeah, I think no, probably 2022.
Yeah.
Well, no, 6 years. Who knows? I got out at some point in time. It wasn't 22 though. I was done with. Already went to law school. So no, it was before then. I just can't think of when. But what was the question? That threw me off completely.
He took us over. When were you through? You said, you know what? I'm gonna put my uniform up and I'm finna go study law.
So I got out the military before I studied law, but when I was in the National Guard, I had ended up joining the Jacksonville Police Department. Mm-hmm. And so once I joined there a year later, I got assigned to the undercover narcotics division.
Yeah.
And so it was just too much conflict because I needed to be able to grow my facial hair out and do certain things and look a certain way to fit that profile. But the military don't care. So they're like, yeah, when you come here, you better have that face shaved. You better have your nails cut and things like that. So they conflicted with each other. And I feel like my higher calling was law enforcement at that time. And so I went ahead and just once I was at retirement, or let me say I didn't re-enlist after my contract was up.
For sure. So you studying law, Bobby. Where did you study at?
So Thurgood Marshall School of Law, that's on the Texas Southern University campus, TSU, down in Houston, Texas.
Okay, then. Now, Bobby, you're so multifaceted and got so much going. So on top of being a lawyer, on top of being in the service, on top of being the police, you're going through different transitions and different careers. What made you say, you know what? This legal stuff is going so good, I'm going to open up a restaurant right here in Little Rock.
So,
that threw me for a loop. They was like, yeah, Bobby working on this restaurant is going to be, I'm like, the lawyer Bobby Forrest, and they were like, yeah.
Down in Houston, it ain't nothing but restaurants and lounges and clubs, and there was not a space here in Little Rock. If I knew the guy was telling me I got to come back to Little Rock to be a lawyer, I'm like, well, we got to create some of the same vibes. So I feel like I'm in Houston or some of these other cities. And so in law school, I went out every weekend. I know you ain't posted, but I was out every weekend. And so I just knew I wanted to bring that back. So I learned a lot. I even worked in clubs as security when I was in law school to help pay for school and stuff like that. And so I got a chance to watch and look and learn. And
Bobby,
so
you
then
was
I brought
a security guard?
I was a security guard.
How many times, Bobby, you joking to me? How many times have you had?
Too many. Whatever it took to keep the bills alive.
Say
and
that,
the bills paid.
Now, he said you was going out. What was you doing when you was going down to H-Town?
I'm elected now. He's trying to just know we had a.
He said I can ask him whatever. You
can
still on Too Hot for TV. He's a political guy now. He got to know how to maneuver these questions.
Yeah,
that's why he got TJ with him. TJ giving that look like, hey, yeah, he giving him the signal. Don't fall in that trap.
A good time. Being around my people.
That's all that matters. Now, Bobby, you're a father as well, a good one from what I see. How has being a lawyer, being a restaurant owner, being a parent, because as you see, I got my little one here with me.
Yep.
How do you balance all of this?
As you see, like you just said, you got your little one with you. Intentional and caring.
Say that.
You got to be intentional. So
you
can always find an excuse and reason not to be around your kids. And that's what I see a lot of men do, and it kills me. You have to be intentional about being a father. I didn't grow up with a father, so I knew when I had my son, and name my son after me, Bobby the Third, I'm going to be intentional about spending time. So even if that means bringing him to the office, being at the polls with him, waving with me at cars, we're going to spend intentional time together. So it's intentionality.
Yeah, and what I love is, Bobby, just knowing you and watching it. So I'm riding around the city, and I'm everywhere, especially around Central Arkansas. I'm in Conway, I'm in Jacksonville, I'm all over Little Rock, the North Side, Pine Bluff, and I keep seeing Bobby Forrest Jr., Bobby Forrest Jr. And I'm like, who is putting this everywhere? I'm getting letters to my house. My grandparents get letters. Like, you know that boy Bobby? I say, yeah, I know Bobby. And you covered like the whole map. Who, TJ, did you put this together? Who put this campaign together? Because when I say, coming from a promoter background, that's how I felt. I felt like you really took it to the streets and was like, I felt like I had left the club and it was a Bobby Forrest Jr. Flyer on my windshield. You had signs everywhere. I get on Instagram, Bobby, and you was all over the city. Like, who put this together?
It was a big collective group of people that you bring in, but we end up bringing in, you may know her by Kendra Pruitt.
For sure.
And we already laid a lot of groundwork. I had a consultant named Ema Dixon, and she is very technical. And Bobby, let me teach you how to speak better, things like that. Yeah. Kendra Pruitt's a GOAT, though. She's the Olivia Pope. And she was like, Bobby, if you want to win this has to be, you got to let people know who you are. Like, people know Restaurant Bobby, Lawyer Bobby. They don't know that you're running for office and what this office actually can do. And so she came in and basically said, it's a blitz. We got to flood the city. We flooded the city, and she had me everywhere. Yes, if you was leaving about a club, I bet you it was a flyer door, because we was putting flyers on your door. I'm coming in clubs speaking, grabbing a mic, getting shout out, like reaching people. We knew we weren't going to have enough money that he was going to have to run against me. So we knew we had to get the people behind me to win it.
Let me tell you how they use me, JG. Let me tell you what let me tell you what TJ and Bobby did. So it's my birthday. I'm a Leo, August the 9th. So I'm doing, look at them. They know, look at their reaction. They know what I'm talking about. So now put it back on me. These niggas tried to act like they was man, we gonna go down and celebrate YKeedo, woo, 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 woo. And let me tell y'all what they did, and I appreciate y'all for doing it, man. They said, man, we here with my guy YKeedo, Another Life. We gonna take a shot. And I already got like, the spot not big, so it probably hold like 200 people. So I probably already got like 100, 120. They bring 60 more, so it's packed at this point. So they take a shot, and I said, hold on. I think I'm part of these niggas' campaign. You dig what I'm saying? Nevertheless, I talked to you that night. This was almost a year ago, Bobby.
Yeah.
And you said he called me by my real name. He said, Josh, that's how he know me for real. He said, Josh, I'm finna do this damn thing. And I said, Bobby, if you believe, I believe. I think we did another event downtown.
The back to school bash.
The back to school bash.
That was a hit.
And that was a hit. And I seen that's when I first seen the Bobby campaigns. And I said, yeah, he gonna do it. I believe. And I could tell the people around you believed. So with this being said, boom, it happens, you win. Bobby, what is on your agenda? And once again, mind you, you're on Too High for TV. We want you to keep it real with us. As prosecuting attorney, what is Bobby Forrest Jr. gonna do? Because now you got it. Now the real work begins. Even though you ran a hell of a campaign. And before you tell us what you're gonna do, let people know what prosecuting attorney is and what that person does before you tell what your plan is.
Yeah, it really is a big role. Prosecuting attorney here in Pulaski and Perry County literally determines who gets charged, what they get charged with, and the outcome of that charge. And so if you get arrested from fleeing from the police, my office determines, one, did you flee from the police?
Yeah.
And if we say, yes, you fled from the police, then it's what is the punishment to that charge? And so that is a big role because I may not see punishment like my predecessor or other prosecutors across this nation. And so my biggest goal as becoming the new prosecutor, it ain't to let all the YNs off and just say that you can do whatever you want to do.
For sure.
But it is definitely trying to provide a different aspect to say, hey, get it back on track. I don't believe everybody should be felons. And I believe that we got to look at situations more in depth than what the charge may be. And so what I'm bringing different is an aspect to where I'm definitely holding people accountable. If you're out here being violent, shooting, nobody wants that. Black or white, nobody wants violent people in the neighborhoods killing folks. We all lost somebody. I lost my sister, as y'all know. That's my story throughout this time from violent crime. So nobody wants that. But I also don't want to see young men in prison. And so my goal is to come in and try to divert young men from saying, look, you can be cool. Josh, you cool, you fly. Look, we on camera, we got, and you ain't in prison. You ain't out here pulling up. You ain't got to do all that.
We ain't got to.
You can still get ladies. You can get all that money without having to be violent or doing things just all the way against the law. And so I'm trying to show young people that you can be something different than what your community says you're going to be.
And that's dope, and that's needed in this area. And I feel like wholeheartedly, I ain't saying this because you're in front of me and my people, we was talking about it, and everybody that knows you, like, yeah, if anybody, it need to be Bobby, because he know you've been there. You've been from the project. You've been in law enforcement. You've been in the service. You know law. Why not Bobby Forrest? Now, Bobby, this is my next question. So now that you're prosecuting attorney, I know you told me something you want to do. This was 2 years ago. Where are you gonna go after prosecuting attorney? What's the long game here, Bobby?
You know, I used to try to make all these plans, and you know, the old folks say, men make plans and then God laugh at them. I am only focused on what the task is in front of me right now.
For sure.
And so right now, God has blessed me to be the prosecuting attorney from the largest district in this state. The first African-American. That's never happened before. And so I'm trying to hone in and prove to the people and prove to this state and this district that, one, I can do the job and that we can also address crime without sending everyone to prison. And so until that is done, I'm not thinking about anything else. Until I can save young men, until I can save young women from entering this system, people that have mental health problems, have addiction problems, my goal is to save them from the system if possible. And my other goal is to, when someone experiences what my family experienced with losing my sister, that the person who did that crime never sees the light of day again. So that is what I'm focused on right now. And then we'll see what God says.
Let me ask you this, because I talked about you being a father. Do you want Bobby Forrest III to walk in your shoes, or you going to let him be his own man?
You know, I believe that it is up to us to develop kids.
Yeah.
And if you look at, I'm a Bible man. If you look at the Bible, you fell in the same line after your daddy. That's kind of what it was. So, yeah, he needs to be a lawyer. I didn't do all this for him not to be a lawyer and not to get in politics. However, if God shows me that he is something different, then I will follow that path as well. But no, I'm raising the next president.
Say that. And like I said, I got my baby here now. I'll be like, yeah, well, you want to be on the radio? You want to be a DJ or be in the nightlife, anything like that? My son will be like, but I got a 13-year-old, so right now, you know what I'm saying? And I just want him ultimately to be a boss. Now, speaking of being bosses, Bobby, you a boss. and with all this stuff going, where do we go with the Chosen Law Firm Group? What's next for that?
So in this new role, and I don't take this office until January 1, so it's transition period. But I do have to sell the law firm, and so the young lady, I know, but it's still gonna be alive. It's still gonna be alive, and God's bless me. The young lady that's there now, Keidra Brewer, she's gonna be taking over. We're talking to different people that may be coming in. I expect Chosen Law Group to take off and be 10 lawyers 5 years from now deep.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just glad to be able to start the groundwork of it, but I think it's gonna blow up.
So until January 1, Bobby, are you still practicing law? Can people still
I'm still out here beating cases. I'm still out here beating cases.
For sure, okay.
But I hope to be able to leave about September so that I can start focusing on transition.
Okay, for sure. Now that's with the law. As far as the experience, how is that gonna go? Are you still gonna be in there, or how you going about that?
Yeah, so experience is gonna still be there. I already don't be in there.
It'd be hard to catch them.
I don't want people to feel like they can't have a vibe because they see me in there. Something like Bobby.
Tighten up, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby here and all that. So, TJ, he's the general manager, so he runs it day to day. I literally don't touch experience unless I'm coming to get a plate of food.
Man, shout out to TJ. TJ treat me better than you in experience. The time TJ be like, hey, man, hook YK up, man. I go in there, JG, and be like, hey, man, I'm YKeedo on the people chat, woo, 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 woo. And then Bobby be like, and teacher be like, man, hook him up. You dig what I'm saying? I be trying to use my face card, be like, I know the owner. And everybody like, nigga, everybody know the owner. You ain't special. Nevertheless, man, one time, TJ, I appreciate you. Man, I appreciate you too, Bobby. One time for the Experience Kitchen and Lounge, man. It's just good vibes in here, man. And I love what you're doing. So until September, they got a chance to get their case beat by Bobby.
You got a chance. Hire the Chosen Law Group. We are still taking cases for sure. And even when I'm gone, they're going to be taking cases. And I hope that I've taught the lawyers as there something so that they can still be out here beating cases.
Yeah, for sure. So what happens if they don't beat the case and they end up having to see you?
Better hope you didn't do that. Better hope I can't prove it because that is a job. At the end of the day, we having fun, but at the end of the day, the job is really serious. There are people that's out here harming our communities.
For sure.
You don't want somebody harming your son.
No.
Harming, you know what I'm saying? You don't want somebody harming your mom, your
None
dad.
of that.
None of that. And so it's my job to protect against people harming us. But I also want to add, again, that different element of where we realize that we see young black men struggling right now, especially because of the lack of fathers. And so I want to help create programs that's going to address that need so that we can not have this school to prison pipeline of seeing all these young men go to prison. And they can do something. It's so much other things to do than prison.
For sure.
Why you want to go be around a bunch of men? So I'm trying to help you and help that. And really, because they're not thinking about how long-term their decision is that they're making.
Yeah, for sure, man. Bobby, it's needed, man, and I'm just really enjoying the conversation we have. Bobby, I got to know this. With all these hats you wear, what do you do in your free time? What do you do? Do you get little Bobby the third, you take him out? Like, what does Bobby do for fun? Do you got any chance to unwind and let your hair down? Or, like, how do you go about that?
It depends on seasons. I just got out of a season where the whole campaign, that's 10 months, having to run and get a entire 2 counties to know your name and vote for you. That wasn't that time. But, before then, absolutely. I mean, we play golf. I love, people don't know this, but the recipes that's inside Experience is created by me.
Okay, then.
The drinks and the food. And so I love being at home, creating new drink recipes, new food recipes.
I love it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a TV person, so I love watching TV. Definitely getting my son, like I'm taking my whole family tomorrow to go to Disney on Ice. I spend time with the family. I like grilling, smoking, so just a good time chilling, low key, everybody ain't around, but as long as I can just breathe a little bit and people ain't asking me legal questions, I'm having a good time.
And it be time, I be seeing you, Bobby, and I can only imagine. I know what I go through just as being in the industry, dealing with music and nightlife and things like that. Hey, Bobby, when I get around you, it's like everybody, hey, man, I got a ticket the other day, and can you, do they not get annoying to you? Like, bruh.
It's to the point it's beyond annoying. 'Cause it almost, and again, I wouldn't be where I'm at if the people didn't support me. So I try to stay available. That's when you like, hey, you hit me back. I'm always reach back out. But I do wish people would sometimes take into consideration that although you may think, okay, I'm gonna hit Bobby up real quick. Everybody thinking at that same time,
thing,
I'm
yeah.
gonna hit Bobby up real quick, and I can literally get 100 messages a day of just small questions.
Yeah.
And I have to. He has to be like, Bobby, put the phone down, bro. Like you
Yeah.
gotta have some time to yourself.
Shout out to TJ
I
again.
feel indebted because
I
again,
feel
this
it.
community. You know, I got here and I'm trying to help my community, so I want to be available. But sometimes I do be needing to break y'all.
I dig it. I dig. Nevertheless, Bobby, I noticed that a lot of the times people who are in your position don't look like us. They don't have fades. They don't have a swagger or have you. They don't. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Did that ever bother you? Which I already know the answer, but just for the people, just to get them that type of confidence, the way you look and who you are, your background, did that ever deter you or stay like, it might hold me back?
No, absolutely. Because when I decided that I was going to run for this race, the number one thing I heard was, you cannot win this race if you keep braids. There's no way the community's going to vote for a 34-year-old black man with cornrows in his head. You know, and so for a minute, I went back and forth, and, talking with TJ and trusted people. Like, they said I got to cut my hair, but then I had a conversation with God. I'm a man of faith. God told me, if you can find someone that I disqualified in the Bible, that of their appearance, what they look like, then cut your hair. And obviously, there's not nobody in there. So I stood firm and said, I'm not changing it. They got to vote me who I am as I am,
Say that.
so that I can stay who I am. And so because I've been able to break that barrier to be that I got braids, that I wear something and don't look like you. My suits a little tighter.
Yeah.
I may have my ankles out on my pants down there.
Yeah.
And now I don't have to change when I'm getting ready to do policy, because the people have already said, we don't care about what that looks like. We care about what he's trying to do. And so hopefully that makes a movement for anybody else, that no matter what you look like, you can do what you want, especially your qualification in your heart. And if God says it's for you, it's for you.
Say that, man. And it's crazy because we got our grandmas and aunties, and I know them, and I'm on camera because they were telling me that boy gonna have to cut his hair. He ain't have to cut his hair. To all the youngers out here that worried about changing their image and doing it, he's right there to my right. He didn't have to change. To my partner, like, man, I don't know. He might have to conform, and he might have to do this. And that's another reason I had to get you up here, man. I said, they got to see it. So, Bobby, it was election night to go to my next point, and I ride by GG's, and y'all had it on 10. I said, I ain't finna try to get in there. I ain't finna try to get in there. I ain't finna try to use my YKeedo face card. And I seen you on Facebook, and you were overwhelmed with emotions. Run it back, Bobby. How was it when they was like, you're next, you got it?
Man, so first
because you couldn't get words out. He wanted. I think he was crying when I seen the video. He couldn't get his words out.
Because it was up and down. And again, you've run hard. A lot of times in my life, you can kind of know if something's going to work. I know that when I open Experience, that if we get 150 people in, we're going to make this amount of money, which means the bill's going to work. So that's the key to success.
For sure.
Same with a lawyer. You got to go to school. You take the test. If I study and get 67 questions right, then I'm passing the test. That's not campaigns. So campaign, you can do everything right, be everywhere, and people still don't show up and vote for you.
Say that.
And so you still just didn't know. Like, y'all seeing it, and everybody tell me, like, Bobby, you got it. You got signs everywhere. I'm like, them signs don't equal a vote.
Yeah.
Them billboards don't equal a vote.
Say
These
that.
T-shirts don't equal a vote. So is it going to happen? So when it happened, when early voting first came out, we were up by about 3,500. But it was still 50,000 more votes to go. And so everybody thought at that time I had won.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all, I'm up, but this ain't a win by any means yet, because we knew that we had some difficult areas to reporting. We knew we were going to have difficulties in Maumelle and West Little Rock, and we knew that we wouldn't likely win those areas. So we knew we needed Little Rock, Jacksonville, where I'm from, to turn the numbers up.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. And so I get in there, all these people cheering my name. It's crazy. No, and then Deja Blue is just all these different chants about Forrest and run, Forrest, run. You got folks in there saying all that. And so it was really overwhelming. And then at that point, when you see me crying, that is me trying to pay honor to my baby sister who passed away.
Say that.
And talk about it. And I really try not to spend a lot of time, because I can't talk about it in depth without being emotional about it. So I told myself that's gonna be my first night where I tried to give her full story.
Yeah.
Didn't get there still,
sure.
but one day I'll be able to give that full
sure.
story and see it through.
Yeah, for sure. Now, what I love is, Bobby, that you stayed you did it, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the whole time these last 2-3 years, we really been talking, and your family to us at 96, no matter what you do, if you got an event with the experience, and even before, when I just knew you as Josh and Bobby, just watching you see it through. Bobby, what advice do you got to somebody that's, let's say, in high school right now, probably 15, 16, that's clueless and might not think they can make it? What would you tell them right now?
I would use my J. Cole line.
Uh-oh.
There is no life than a life that's better than yours.
Say
and
that.
So look at your life. Don't compare yourself. Both the sun and the moon shine. They just shine at different times. So it's gonna they both shine depending on what the cloud's doing. They both gonna shine at different times.
That.
And so look at your own life, figure out what you want to do, and go after it. Nobody can stop you.
I love that, Bobby. Man, we can sit here and talk all day, but Bobby, I know that you're a busy man. Before I let you get up out of here, man, I ask everybody this before they go. Is there anything, it can be anything, you ain't got to do with politics, you ain't got to talk about experience, you ain't got to talk about nothing but what you want to talk about. Is there anything on your mind, body, soul, spirit that you want to get off right now? The doors are Too High for TV at 96.5 The Box are open to you, Mr. Forrest.
Let's see. Number one, really, really try to get your relationship with God. Spend some time alone with God, and I promise you, if you talk to him, he will talk back. That'll be number one.
Okay,
Number two, to my fathers, your kids need you. They need more than just your money. They need your presence. If you think that $200, $300 worth of child support is enough to raise a kid, it ain't.
Say that.
Time is invaluable, and so you got to be there. And if you're there, we're going to start seeing a better culture of people being raised and not being raised just by the women only. And last but not least is we ain't done. November, there's elections coming up, and there's some important races on the ballot. And just like y'all showed up here in March, everybody needs to show up even more in November because you have a chance to get your voice heard. I ain't gonna tell you who to vote for, but pay attention to what's going on in our country, pay attention to what's going on in our state, and use your voice, use your vote, get out there and vote so that we can make real change. Had y'all not got out there for me and believed it, we would have been saying it sounded great for Bobby Forrest to be the first black prosecutor, but because y'all got out there, I am, at 34 years old, the first black prosecutor. Your vote matters. Get out there and vote.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Bobby, where can they meet you? Give me your, since you're 34, they need your MySpace, your Black Planet, eHarmony, Christian Mingle, Twitter, Snapchat. I ain't never going to call it X. It's always going to be Twitter. Are you still active on social media? Is that you or is TJ running your page?
No, so you have the Forrest for Prosecutor page. I do not run that page, but I do run my personal page, Bobby Forrest Jr., and then I have my Instagram. I personally have the Instagram. I will say I am not active heavy on social media, but I do try to catch some messages here and there. But if you know me, you know how to get in touch with me. If you don't know me, then call the office.
I know you. Peep this, JG. I know him. I said, hey, Bobby, I need an interview. He said, man, ain't no thing, Josh. Cool. I said, bet, man. What you got? He said, call this number. And then I had to talk to Jasmine. You see what I'm saying? He ain't even prosecuting attorney yet. He already. No, I'm playing, man. Bobby, you know it's love. You know 96.5 The Box. We love you, man. And whenever, we got to get you to come back. I'd love for you to share that story about your sister with me. That'd be a blessing. Sure. So whenever, and like you said, I still got your number. He's still answering. And you say January 1, 2027, prosecuting attorney Bobby Forrest Jr., and that's Perry County and Pulaski County, right?
Both counties, yes, sir.
Okay. Then TJ, you want to say anything? Put the camera on TJ. You been quiet, man. You ain't got nothing to say. He just put the mic. TJ, what you want to say for TJ? You got something to say? Yeah, what you want to say, man?
Journey for you.
Give me something.
Man, this has been an incredible journey for somebody to tell you what they want to do and tell you they're walking their steps with God leading them, and to witness it is just wild. And we're talking, almost 2 years, almost 3 years ago, he told me he was going to do this. So it's just been a blessing to be beside him, to be, with him on his journey and be able to help where I could. But man, he did all this work, man. I'm just trying to keep up with him, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Keep him off that phone unless Josh. He probably got me say, Josh, if my name come across there, be like, man, handle that. You know what I'm saying? And TJ, keep showing me love at the restaurant because he don't show up no more. And Bobby just waved me off.
Oh, you good?
He
Y'all
who
come
be
in.
on that headset? When you be having that headset on, he be acting like he talking to somebody.
Bobby in the box, man. Bobby up there in the box.
For sure, man. Y'all know what this is, man. Once again, I got Bobby Forrest Jr. here. You know who I am. I'm YKeedo, the People's Champ. And this right here is Too Hot for TV, 96.5 the Vox, Arkansas's #1 for hip hop. Yeah, we out of here. Okay, then.